Hey, you know what it is. It's issue 10 of the Infinite Backlog, a chronological tour of the best and most noteworthy Marvel comics. I'm the Secret Andy, and with me are my co-hosts, Young Shane.
Double digits, baby. Still young, though.
And Deadman Rory.
Oh, hi, everybody. And I gotta tell you, Andy, I love that energy. That
Yeah,
starting
you like
energy, yeah. You know what it is.
Dead man Rory? What?
No,
Well, so Deadman Logan is a comic that I think exists. Is that right, Rory? Am I wrong about that?
I'm not sure. I know Old Man, and I guess that would be if we're following Muppet logic. After Old Man is Dead Man.
It is. I think Muppet Treasure Island should be the way that we learn all of our concepts, all of our
Was it
linguistic
Old Tom
concepts.
or Old Pete? I forget.
Yeah, I don't remember which one it is.
Old Tom, new Tom, dead Tom.
Yeah.
Yep.
Today's comics follow the Fantastic Four and Spider-Man, which is a song that I have sung, I think, 3 weeks in a row now. Next week will not be like that, so look forward to that. We'll get something new in the mix. They're going to take us from March through August of 1966, and during this time, the Church of Satan is founded, the Freedom of Information Act is signed, and John Lennon apologizes for that earlier dunk on Jesus he did. And
Two of those are connected.
You know what's fun is that he was willing to apologize to Jesus and never his own children.
Dude, John Lennon was a really interesting guy. I'm pretty sure his quote when he sort of does his redacted thing about the statement about Jesus, he says something like I didn't mean it like a lousy anti-religious thing. It's like, what the hell? How did you mean it? Like, whatever. I don't know. It's an early example of a YouTube apology.
I have not studied the incident, but it seems to me it's very possible that there are more Beatles fans than Christians. Like, that's a reasonable thing to assert, and you're not really necessarily being, a blasphemer. Just being like, well, some of those Jewish guys who love the Beatles, and they're not big on the book you like. So yeah, the math checks out.
They don't like your book, but they love the White Album, and you know what? Who are we to say? We read 6 issues of Fantastic Four and 4 issues of Spider-Man. Which one do we want to do first? Maybe Spider-Man first? It's easy to get
save
out
the
of the way.
best for last. Save the best for last.
You had more fun with Spider-Man? Because I don't know. I feel like it had good flash, no substance.
Yeah, it was pretty empty.
Wait,
yeah.
No. That's not what I said. I said save the best for last. So let's do Spider-Man first.
Okay. I misunderstood you because I feel, yes, that is how I feel. Okay.
No, I did that on purpose to fuck with you. So
well, now the egg's on my face. Put that egg back. This is we start with. This is just like 3 weird, not quite connected stories, right? I mean, they go really.
Did we read 4 this week, or
we
is
did
one
read
of them
4? Yeah.
What do you mean? So when you say there's 3 weird, not quite connected stories, what's the one that's not?
Well, okay. So now the egg is back on my face, and I wish that you would put it away. I wish that you would just put the egg away once and for all. Okay. That would be really great for me, so that I don't, keep saying wrong numbers and wrong things.
We're gonna rub that yolk in.
There are 4 not so connected stories, and then a little bit of a hint of Norman Osborn.
This was a bit of a sleeper for Spider-Man. Yeah, we get Norman Osborn, and the school drama and the Betty drama is a little bit substantive, but all of the villain stuff is Monster of the Week kind of.
Yeah, there's nothing going on.
Hey, wait. Hey, Stan. This is my open letter to Stan Lee. Tell me this fucking lady's name. What is this person's name?
No, it's always different. It's like the rotating list of assistants on Bones
With David Boreanaz.
It's a new girl every issue.
Is it a new girl every issue? Are you sure?
Yeah. The assistant. Yeah.
Do I just not care enough because it's not Betty that I didn't notice they're drawn different?
Yes, I'm pretty positive.
It was hard to tell until one of them was like a redhead.
Blonde.
The other ones are blonde or whatever.
Oh
yeah.
My God.
The first two to maybe even 4. I wasn't counting. Were kind of carbon copy.
Yeah, Betty
people.
types. Brant
Betty types. Brant likes.
Betty types.
Yeah, there's a fun moment in the last issue that we read where Ned Leeds comes back and they both think that Betty has run off with the other, and they're both like, "How's Betty doing? She's not with you."
So this was the last issue we read, and this was a game changer. Because
tell me,
I have spent 40 issues of Spider-Man believing that, I guess he doesn't show up in issue 1, but whenever he shows up, of all of the time we've been reading Spider-Man since the appearance of Ned Leeds, I've been giving this guy a shit ton of rope. And It turns out he's a criminal just like Peter. He's just hiding it better. He's a nasty, gross boy, and he's off the nice list.
Yeah. You know what? I think we have to take a couple of nice hunks off our list to make room for one big one we'll mention later. So I think Ned Leeds,
Molten
you can
Man?
move on aside. No. We will talk about him later. But yeah, I agree. Ned and Peter have this really sort of, it's just a gross tone that they have this out and out like argument fight.
Yeah, Ned Leeds is allowed to feel jilted and angry, but there's some lines in there that maybe we can attribute to poor writing, but if we say that, the thing is he was always written by the same person, so it's it's tricky. He says something along the lines of like, "I never liked you, Parker," which undercuts the whole thing we were saying. Like, he was always a really wholesome, well-adjusted, non-school shooter type, and he kind of lost all that energy.
Mm-hmm. And I think that there's some interesting context. This is issue 38 of Spider-Man is Steve Ditko's last issue on Spider-Man, and it's his last thing that he did for Marvel. And my understanding of what went down here, it's very broad. So anyone listening who has more information, please tell me I'm wrong on Twitter. But my understanding is that he had a huge disagreement with Stan Lee over Norman Osborn being the Green Goblin. And it is, they've both like as they got older and maybe had bad memories or maybe tried to change the story, they've both changed their stories about which side they were on. It's very odd. But one of them wanted it to just be some rando we'd never met because that's just real life. Like sometimes the bad guy's somebody you've never met in your life.
But that's also Norman Osborn, unless they keep that secret for a long time. But we've already seen him being a little spooky.
Right. And the other one was like, no, it needs to be somebody like a Norman Osborn that we're introducing right now so that it has relevance to the plot. Like, it needs to be somebody close to Peter in some way. And apparently it was just a huge problem, and they ran off. And I think Ditko's natural tendency is angsty, angry shit, and it was getting more angry. And I think a lot of Peter's angry energy is due to Ditko and the way he draws him and the way Stan had to sort of write to fill it in.
Could be.
And my understanding is that starting next issue, I think Peter might chill. And we're not slated to read any more Spider-Man after this, but I'm probably going to add at least one more issue in just to see what it looks like with a different artist and maybe a different energy. But yeah, it's like everyone's angry in this last slate of Spider-Man that we've been reading. It's just all so mad and angry. I don't know.
Yeah.
Actually, the end of this issue is super funny to me because this whole time we've been fighting this guy named Joe Smith. It doesn't even bear mentioning, but he's
this whole time. One issue is the Joe Smith issue.
Yes, the whole time in this issue.
Yeah, the whole time of one issue, Rory.
We've been fighting Joe Smith, and he, so finally Spider-Man wins by punching the sense back into Joe. And then he punches out a bunch of hitmen that Norman Osborn sent after Spider-Man. And then he sees a mannequin that kind of looks like Ned Leeds, and he punches the mannequin too.
Yeah, this issue was a mess. Joe is a nothing character who's not even really a villain. He's supercharged with power, but he's not super villain strong. He's just a problem strong. And then
a problem strong. It's unfortunate that you are that strong. Sorry, friend.
Yeah. It's gonna be a problem for me.
Yeah, you know what I mean. This was a really weird issue, and if it were not for any of the development with Betty Brant and Ned Leeds, it would have been an absolutely skippable episode or issue. That that had just zero. It had nothing going for it. It was probably the worst issue of Spider-Man we've read.
I would agree. What do you think, Peter? I almost called you Peter.
Peter.
Okay, all right.
What do you think, Shane?
I totally agree. It's garbage. It's sad when the two things that make me like laugh the most out of all these Spider-Man issues are there's a whole section where Stanley's like, we promised Adi he'd get some pages to do some big words, so do the big bubble words, right?
Yeah,
and
do those sound effects, Stan.
Yeah,
there
do the
go.
sound effects. And it's so those like 2 pages were incredible.
Yes.
But then there's a part where they call him P. Parker Esquire, and it makes me die. Like it's so fucking. That's the Looter's comic.
The Looter is dumb.
You're talking about Norton G. Fester.
Yeah, Norton G. Fester, aka the Looter,
aka the man that huffs meteor gas to get high, and
aka editor's note, the Fester Man. The Amazing Fester Man. They want to change the comic to the Amazing Fester Man if they don't capture him.
God.
With the bad issue we were just dogging on real quick, there was an interesting advent in basically compared to every Marvel thing we've read previously. And that is multiple pages of fight panels, fight sequences that are not just they're
covered in
they're not covered in text. Yeah, they're blank, and it's kind of nice.
It is so nice. Oh my God, to be able to spend that little time on a page and go, oh, look at this cool art, and then flip it. It's like heaven.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, because that's the sort of trick. The trick is like, or not trick, like the secret is, obviously they're comic books. There is reading involved, but like the more story you can tell visually, usually the better you are as a writer and as an artist, whichever one is doing the heavy lifting in that regard.
Yeah, it's tough to look at. It's tough to see like issue to issue, which is why I'm excited for Stan to get a little bit of his fingers out of all these pies. I'm sure the other writers that replace him do kind of his style for a while, but at least something different might be nice. God, what else do we even have in Spider-Man? He fought Molten Man again.
Molten Man had to take
not
his clothes
just
off
Molten
again.
Man. Yeah. First we meet a sexy like Mad Men era Molten Man in a suit.
He
and
even says, "I can't fight with my clothes on." He's like, "I have to take these off. I have to fight with my clothes off."
He's got a quick release suit that he can shed that comes off his slippery skin like a snake molting in Fast
for
Forward.
Spider-Man. He did it just for Spider-Man.
Oh, wait, there's another editor's note in the Molten Man one where they talk about Spider-Man blithely romping, and that's my favorite sentence.
Oh my God. It's like he's a fucking seal on a beach or something.
You have to remember, listeners, that Molten Man canonically is constantly slippery.
Yeah, he's a slippery boy.
He's a chiseled hunk that you just can't pin down. He's like a pig. He's a pig in grease.
Oh, shiny golden pig.
Man. Before we sort of slowly find our way out of Spider-Man, I do want to pay attention to that Looter issue for a couple things. One is it's so funny to read Peter, his reaction. His reaction is like clearly so 60s and totally alien to me now, where a girl invites him to a party and then she's like, oh, it'd be so nice to have a smart boy around. And he thinks, oh no, not again. Will I always be thought of as nothing but an egghead? And it's like, dude, this girl's inviting you to a party and she's into the fact that you're smart.
This girl likes you because you're a nerd, and you just fucked that up. You just you were born on third base and couldn't get home, brother.
Yeah, it's like he's basically like, will no one call me hunk? It's like it's fucking wild, dude. God, he drives me nuts.
There is somebody who called him a hunk. Remember, in high school, there's a boy who felt him up and was like, "Oh shit."
Oh yeah, that's right.
That totally
that random
happened.
boy who was like, "Hey, Flash, there's some melons under
this guy
these sleeves."
This guy is angular under these clothes.
I think Peter might be cut.
I think Peter might have some muscle. Can we talk about how the meteorite farts in that dude's face and then he gets powers?
The looter is nothing. He's actually nothing.
The looter is whiffing meteor farts, and that's why he has powers.
Farts. He gets strong, and then he has a hot air balloon in his backpack, and that's his whole deal. The other thing I did want to mention on that issue is that there's an incredible sort of double wide panel that I thought was like really classic Spider-Man, like in a way that made me smile, like super genuine. Where he's like been fighting him as he's on his little backpack hot air balloon, and he manages to knock him out. And he's just monologuing. Spider-Man's just talking about how being a hero has like no social security, no paid vacations or Christmas bonuses. And then he's like, but you know what? It's kind of okay. I get to be outside. I get to be my own boss. Oh, I'm not boring you, am I? Oh, I think you fell asleep on me. And it's like it felt really good. Like that's the good Spider-Man energy. Yeah. Like he's knocked a guy out, and he's just monologuing and having fun while he floats off into the sky. And that's funny. It's funny as shit to me. And I wish that everything was like that. It's just not right now.
It's an interesting aspect of Spider-Man that we haven't touched on much, that he's, for some reason, kind of incapable to have all of the charisma that Spider-Man has as Peter Parker.
Yeah.
He's got some block, and he's full of angst, and he's just, it's interesting, right? Like, it's believable to a degree, to the degree that, like, I believe he doesn't know, like, he's not burdened by any sort of like association or identity or whatever. Like as Spider-Man, he's kind of, he's totally free. He can shed his anger, and that's fun.
It is.
He's still kind of pretty upsetting as Peter Parker.
Yeah. Yes. And hey, I know I said we're going to read at least one more issue next week, but this is our final week of regular Spider-Man reading for a little bit.
That makes me really sad. I'm going to keep reading it.
Yeah, I might a little bit. We'll see. But we are kind of walking away from it for a little bit, and we're going to check in when there's like big story stuff.
Do you know why it's kind of lost its essential trades, mojo?
I think just because Ditko leaves. Yeah, I think it's just because Ditko leaves. So I don't know. I don't know that it's really a measure of quality, or if it's just like that's where that like essential trade stops. But yeah, I think at our discretion, we can add a little bit more back if we want to. If we get really tired of something else, it's like, well, let's find out what Peter's up to. But yeah, I think getting some new blood in is a good idea anyway.
Sure.
That being said, we have a lot more Fantastic Four to talk about. Really quick, let's talk about the end of the Inhumans plotline.
I mean, they kind of keep it, for some reason, they're kind of juggling it this whole time. Like, hey, don't forget about the Inhumans. So I'm assuming that's going to come back pretty soon.
Yeah, it's like they're scared to like spin it out into its own title yet. And they want to keep it a Fantastic Four plotline, and they don't want you to forget it. But we're doing something else right now. It's kind of odd.
There is Maximilian has released a negative force or a negative zone. And there is something. There's the best line I've ever seen written in anything, I think.
Wow. Okay. Nice.
Oh, I'm so excited.
There's this negative zone that is absorbing what is the name? The Haven, what's the name of
the Great Refuge.
The Great Refuge. And Reed Richards tells Sue to put a force field up because a zone can never defeat another zone. The actual line is like a barrier can't beat a barrier. But
right, one barrier can't defeat another barrier.
It's the most absurd line, given no other like follow up. I guess zones can't beat zones.
I had a different line written down. I thought you were going to talk about the narrator part, talk about Black Bolt, and it's like Black Bolt stares at him for a dozen heartbeats.
Yes. For this, it's so good because Maximus is being a real bitch, and he's made the negative zone to contain the Great Refuge since his Atmo gun doesn't work. And he's like, well, fuck you, I'm trapping us in here for the rest of eternity. And he's just like laughing at Black Bolt. And Black Bolt stands there. And yeah, it says for the space of a dozen heartbeats, Black Bolt stands motionless. And then he just fucking backhands Maximus so hard in the face. It's actually a great panel. I love that so much.
Yeah. And it's not a great description. It's a noteworthy description. Like, a dozen heartbeats is not unnoticeable.
No.
But it's not that long.
Right. Yeah.
That's like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on. I mean, if his heart is beating fast because he's been fighting and he's Black Bolt. Maybe he's got one of those hamster.
No, he's
hearts.
got a resting heartbeat of 1 beat per minute. You know that hunk. You know that hunk.
It's literally just him staring at him. Just like the whole world goes silent, and it's just a super close up of his eye staring at him for 10 seconds.
Yeah. My favorite panel in this issue is there's one where I sent it to you guys. Medusa's like doing one of her like, oh, but the only man that I will ever love is Black Bolt. And then it's her walking away from him and he's just like sadly reaching for her. But she says something like, oh, but I can't be with him until his destiny is fulfilled. And I'm like,
yeah, until his quest is done.
Black Bolt is just getting blue balled by destiny.
Does he get a vote? Yeah. I can't be with you until your destiny is fulfilled. And you're like, nobody here is like that into destiny.
I can do 2 things. But he can't talk, so he can't speak up for himself. Yeah, it's just so funny. It's another one of those weird contrivances of why 2 characters aren't like dating.
Oh, so anybody with a destiny can't get their dog sucked.
Yikes.
We'll cut that. I just wanted to say it. I think
know.
it's funny.
No, you leave that in.
You leave it in, you criminal. You said it.
But yeah, so right after that, we move into this like 3-issue long Galactus storyline where we first meet Galactus and the Silver Surfer, which I dug a lot. I don't know how you guys are feeling.
The Silver Surfer stuff or the whole Galactus arc?
I think the whole thing I dug.
I feel like, given what happened in the previous Inhumans arc, I was a little not spoiled like spoilers, but like I was spoiled to the Silver Surfer stuff. Because I'm completely turned off by random people falling through Alicia's roof. It's just too overused. You could even doing it once was kind of a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah. This whole thing, if you don't know, Silver Surfer, after an initial fight with the Thing, falls right through the skylight of Alicia's apartment, Ben's girlfriend's apartment, and they have kind of a romantic encounter.
Do they? Or does she see like another hurt boy that she wants to help?
Yeah.
I don't like that. That means she doesn't even like Ben. She's just Captain Save-A-Ho.
That's basically what she is.
I think that I don't know. I got to give her the benefit of the doubt. I think she genuinely loves Ben, and I think she genuinely feels pity for Norrin Rad, the Silver Surfer. Sorry, we don't know his real name yet. I just love that it's Norrin Rad. But he definitely falls for her in a weird way because he doesn't really understand human emotion yet. And he doesn't really know what this means. He says he feels beauty for the first time when looking at her, and she teaches him the ways of food.
Yeah, in the sexist like charged language of these sexist in the sexist language of these 60s comics.
Yeah,
the only true beauty is a woman who doesn't know she's beautiful.
Yeah, isn't that the fucking truth, though? God, I hate that trope, but it is definitely happening.
There's something about how she is like, look at this food and look at all these beautiful earth things. And he's like,
I can absorb this.
Turn it to energy, zoop, zoop, zoop. And he just zaps everything.
Food is dumb. Have you tried lasers?
All your things are my energy.
She's like, I can fix him.
Yeah. God.
More chicken. The Silver demands chicken.
So there's these dual plots of we should say it out loud, right? So the Surfer shows up. He's the Herald of Galactus. So he sort of goes ahead to sort of spot out planets that might be good food for Galactus and then signal him to show up.
It's interesting because in the future, Surfer is a much more tragic hero And
in the not too far future,
and in this first appearance, he is a somewhat loyal subject to Galactus, and regrets turning on him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he feels bad, and it's unclear as to how much that's like, oh, he doesn't remember his past, or like, oh, he's like totally let go of emotion, or whatever it is. But right now, he definitely feels like a robot that's slowly gaining sentience.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's these two plots where he is sort of being convinced by Alicia to like, protect the humans because humans are dope and have food and emotions and beauty and hot blind girls. And this other plot where the Watcher is definitely still not watching. They should call him the Interferer now.
Mm-hmm.
And he is helping the Fantastic Four try and have a way to stop Galactus, because Galactus is basically unstoppable. And he arrives and starts prepping his giant robot straw to suck the Earth dry. And I think later incarnations draw Galactus bigger. Right now, it seems
he's
like
normally
he's just like
I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure by the 80s he like literally eats the planets.
Yeah,
like
he's much bigger later.
He's significantly bigger.
Yeah,
and yeah, he's pretty tall, but he's like, the NBA would still let him play.
Yeah, I'm there with you, and I guess I like this. It's interesting. We've talked about before that the Fantastic Four are at their best when the Four are kind of sidelined and other characters are shining. And that's definitely happening here. Most of the Fantastic Four just kind of have to wait and hope that things are going to go well. No, but I will be talking about Wyatt soon. I was just talking about like the Watcher, Galactus, Silver Surfer, Alicia.
Sure.
Like, they're the ones moving things in this comic until Johnny returns from his like inner space vision quest to go get a MacGuffin gun.
It is a MacGuffin gun. I actually really liked the Watcher stuff and the way that it paired with Johnny Storm. Yes, he is an interferer, and he's. I mean, whenever you see him, basically, it's because he's going to stop watching and start interfering. So there's a little bit of confirmation bias, to be fair.
Okay. Yeah,
but
all
no,
right.
I'm not digging on you.
We never see him when he's just watching.
No, but what I was going to say was also, like, it feels real. It feels like somebody with a paycheck and a pension doing their best to help you out without, losing their job. And... yeah, I dig that. Because he's part of. I mean, it's not a job, it's not a paycheck, but he's part of some collective known as the Watchers.
Right. Well, and I guess.
Oh, I didn't realize they were a collective. I didn't know that.
Yeah. It was like a whole group of Watchers that just watch stuff and document the history of the galaxy and the universe. But I guess to his credit, if I had the power to not just watch Buffy, but to jump into Buffy and tell her to dump Angel and get with Spike, I might I might want to find a way to do that. Jump into the TV and be like, I'm just supposed to watch this.
This is bringing stream energy into the podcast.
you would make her leave Angel from TV's Angel? David Boreanaz?
David Boreanaz can do better.
For Spike from TV's Nothing?
He was in the Dragon Ball movie. He was in the Dragon Ball Z movie.
Shut the fuck up.
He played Piccolo.
God. Okay, but that sounds like he was in a nice symphony.
Nope. He didn't play the Piccolo. He played
was Dragon Ball Evolution.
Piccolo from Namek. I'm sorry.
No, yeah. So I don't know. There's an incredible thing that I really do want to just make sure that I say out loud, which is that.
Wait, I want to stop you before you get to your new point. Are you saying that you think that the Watcher watches Earth as like a fan and has his own like fan, and he interferes when he wants people to fuck?
Yes, this is what I'm saying.
I love it.
He has transcended fanfic and has realized that his shit can become real. His OTP can be real.
Oh my God. Oh, that's fucking wild, Andy. To think that there is this galactic space baby who is writing fan fiction of these real people and then popping into Earth to make it fucking happen.
Yeah.
That's how dare you?
Yeah. His Silver Surfer cross Alicia Thick circled around the Watchers Union like wildfire. And so he had to step in and make it real.
Watcher message boards and like fanfic.watcher.gov.
Shit. God damn it. The Thing has one of my favorite lines in the universe, where Rory, you had your zone line. This is right up my alley. This is nonsense. He's fighting a robot gizmo that Galactus brings down to waste time, called the Punisher, no relation. And he has this one line that is just constant wild 60s-isms. He says, "And to show ya I ain't just whistling Dixie, here's mud in your eye, you creepy king-sized crumb bum." And it's incredible.
Listen, remember when we talked about whether or not we would marry him because he's a dummy?
Mm-hmm.
Proof. That line is proof. Nothing.
That reminds me, Johnny Storm goes full 60s, like way out of, like coloring way outside the lines for anything we've seen from him, I think.
I remember this. Which part?
It's not just 60s, it's also some hack writing.
Uh-huh.
It's the Black Panther issue.
Sure.
And Reed has just come to school to inform Johnny Storm he's back on the team. We're going to Wakanda.
Yes.
And Johnny Storm replies with, like, "Wow, brother-in-law, that's the gearist." "But look, can I bring my buddy Wyatt Wingfoot? He'll flip." And then, after all that terrible writing, it's not even done yet, because Reed responds with, "Sure, Johnny. Yeah, why not? All those ideas sound good. Bring the civilian. Bring the civilian on a mission. Why the fuck not?"
Okay. But this brings us to
civilian.
talking about the newest hunk on campus, Wyatt Wingfoot, the thickest man to grace the pages of Marvel Comics.
Hot.
The rhinoceros in man's clothing. He's 8 feet tall and is nothing but muscle.
6 feet wide, yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh my god. It is so good. And Johnny and Wyatt are having a lot of good times together.
He's no isosceles triangle. He's obtuse.
Yes. Johnny and Wyatt are roommates now at college, because Johnny has finally started college.
Johnny's thrown in with a thickum.
Hang on, wait. They say thickum. They literally say thickum. But they do. It's totally in there. It literally says, "Get this thickum." Okay, but that whole moment where the dean meets them, right? And the dean is like, "Ah, yes, the two boy hunks that I want to pair together in the dorms." Well,
he's got his own fanfic. He's taking an inspiration from the Watcher. He's like, "Wait a minute, I can step in and do this?"
Yeah.
I could just put two hot boys in the same room.
Right, and of course Johnny is like a piece of shit, and he just like daydreams the whole time, and the dean obviously has something to say to both of them, and then they're leaving the room, and Johnny's like, "Oh wait, I didn't hear anything about this other dude. Oh well, let's live together." Like, what?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Well, it's okay, because Wyatt Wingfoot, the Native American hunkster, is someone that he's just like immediately so trustworthy. He's like Superman. It's just he doesn't have powers. They took Superman from DC.
It's so fun because look, he's got all of the like embarrassing tropey, like he's a Native American who can listen to the ground and kind of intuit what's going on. But they've combined that with his dad's an ex-football player, so he's got football powers and Indian powers and Indian magic, and it is awesome.
Dude, I love this treatment because they've made him the sexy jock, and it's not even a thing. It's so funny, and he's so righteous. There's a shitty football jock named, what is it, Whitey,
it's not Bulger, but they're invoking that name. It's like Whitey. It's
Whitey Mullins.
Mullins, yeah.
Yeah, so Whitey Mullins is picking on Johnny at the Cozy Campus coffee shop, which is spelled with 3 Ks, you guys.
3 Ks. Yeah, thank you.
Come on. Don't do that. Don't do that, please. But
2 Ks is silly. 3 Ks is not silly.
Not silly at all. And as soon as this awful man starts picking on Johnny, Wyatt fucking explodes. And in the same panel that he's like, don't make fun of my friends, and this other guy's like, oh yeah, what are you gonna do? There's this one girl in the corner who goes, oh, look at those shoulders. Oh, and then the football coach shows up and he's like, good Lord, how thick is this boy? And it's just nonsense how much this comic is horny for Wyatt. And it does not stop.
And it's also it feels like it's also trying to ape Spider-Man. Like, Johnny Storm is a sexy, young superhero with everything in the world handed to him. He's not at all sympathetic. And they're trying to make him out like some plighted nerd. And it doesn't play. So luckily, that's the only couple panels we get of this
right
interaction.
Yeah, the other angle they're trying to do that's sort of contradictory at the same time is they're trying to act like the other members of the team are finally trying to treat him like a man because they see his forlorn, forbidden love story with Crystal, the Inhuman, and
his girlfriend's trapped in a zone, so now he's a man.
They all say it too. Every other character has a line about how, oh, you know what? I think Johnny grew up today. Oh, I'll never see Johnny the same again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, please, readers, please also you see him as a man now because we don't don't know what to do. Boy. Yeah. God. The Galactus thing resolves, I guess, really quickly because Silver Surfer fights back, and actually it's really funny. Galactus is such a Chad in this moment. He's like, well, you know what? I'm gonna go, but I'm not even mad about it because you know what? Emotions are lame. I don't even have emotions, so I'm not mad. I'm just gonna go.
That's more incel energy than Chad energy.
A little bit. You're right. He's Logic like a Ben Shapiro from space.
Yeah, he is a Ben Shapiro from space.
I'm here to drain your planet of all elemental life. Your lives are insignificant. I need to eat them for my elemental powers.
That's pretty good.
Is Ben Shapiro Mandark? Are they the same?
Oh, dude. Now that's a good one. There needs to be fan art. If there's not already fan art of Mandark and Ben Shapiro together, there needs to be. Get on that right now.
Yeah, all of our listeners who do fan art, give me a Mandark Shapiro.
Aside from just a casual mention, I want to make to Beard Richards, where that one issue where Reed Richards didn't shave.
Oh, so good. That was a good time. And then someone talked about his equipment.
It was a good time machine.
They were like, I wish I had Reed's equipment. And I was like, ha, I bet.
But unfortunately, this is a huge disappointment for me. We moved from the Galactus arc right into the limpest introduction of Black Panther that I could imagine. I don't know what I expected. I didn't think it would be this sort of empty, I guess. I don't know. What do you guys think about it?
It was limp and not nearly as offensive as I thought it was going to be.
Oh, for sure. It could have been so much worse.
It could have been worse, but was still so bad.
Yeah,
it's panel after panel of Ben being like, you're fucking boring. Yeah, your dad died. I get it. I saw it on a movie once. I get it.
Oh my God, it's so weird how rude Ben is to all of these African people.
Ben was so rude.
And oh my God, yeah, Black Panther's trying to tell the story of his origins, and he's like, I know, I've seen every jungle movie ever made. I know all about this.
Yeah!
It's like, ew, Ben, ew, come on. That's so gross and rude.
Like, what a weird character to write that coming out of. Like, I didn't feel like it fit, right?
Yeah. It also feels like a weird, fourth wall break in a way where it's like they're trying to apologize for how close the story they wrote is to a couple movies they saw. And they think that by mentioning it in the comic, they can kind of get points for it somehow. They even have a line where Black Panther's like, yes, well, here's something that's different from those movies you've seen. And it's like, man, whatever. Who fucking cares if it's the same as a movie? Just do it good. Do it well. Right? Like, have a fun story. They kind of fail.
So it would appear Black Panther has it's kind of a rehash of I always forget his name. Craven. He's hunting them for sport.
Yep.
But not really, because by the end of the issue they're on the same team.
Yeah.
It's really lame, but I can appreciate the possibility that he's kind of isolated and they're powerful and he wants to test him. He wants to test what Earth's got going on.
Yeah.
Earth's most powerful soldiers.
Earth's last chance to face the Spiral Zone.
Oh my God.
Look up Spiral Zone. Have a good time on the internet, on the YouTubes. But I agree. The Black Panther thing, we basically, he fights them for an issue, then we learn about his backstory for an issue, and then we fight his nemesis for like half an issue, kind of. Claw shows up. Claw, master of sound. Who can make big animals out of sound somehow. But it's mostly just nothing. Actually, the best thing that happens in the best thing that happens in both of these issues is it's like a Family Guy cutaway gag where we go take a look at what the Inhumans are up to for a second, and it's like, hey, what are the Inhumans doing? And it's like, meanwhile, and you just see Karnak trying to karate chop the Zone. And it's like, I don't think this is going to work, Karnak. It's like, yeah,
I can chop diamonds. I can chop a Zone.
Yep.
No, you can't chop the Zone, Karnak.
Jerry, I'm chopping the Zone.
What's he doing? Is he chopping the Zone? He's chopping the Zone. I don't know what to tell him. It's so fucking stupid. And then we come back to this like just boring ass Black Panther plot. I was like, no, let me just have a whole issue of Karnak's chops.
Oh my God, I would read a Karnak comic.
Fuck yeah. The whole issue is just like 19 pages of him staring at someone and then 1 page of him doing the perfect chop.
Wait. Who do you think the Watcher pairs him up with?
Oh, no. Molten Man, maybe.
Stop, that's the perfect pairing.
How does one chop a man of pure molten gold?
How does one find the weakness of a slippery boy? All my hits just slip right off.
You'll find, Karnak, I'm too wet to hit.
This is nothing.
Oh no. Give me that fuck, marry, kill.
Oh, okay, all right. Is that time already? There's nothing else you want to talk about?
I don't know that there is, honestly.
So wait, before we go into that, I did have two things about the last Fantastic Four we read, Fantastic Four 53. It's a wall. I have decided it's a wall of shame. Issue, because there's a lot of comments when they start dancing. When the tribe does like their
friendship,
dance.
Yeah, it's gross.
And it was, that whole section is gross and goes on the wall of shame. We don't talk about it more than that. It's disgusting.
Yep, absolutely.
And then there's one really weird dig at Johnny about Crystal. And it sort of like happens out of nowhere where like nothing else is happening. And they're all walking away and someone like literally just calls Johnny out about Crystal. I was like, oh, well, fuck you too, buddy. Like,
no, that's the weird thing with the whole Crystal subplot is it's hard to tell how much is meant to be just a teen in love and how much they're kind of massaging a storyline and that wasn't properly established.
Right.
You know, as the months go on, you're like, well, we can say after it's been 6 issues, you're like, well, you can say they've been dating. You know, this comic only comes out once a month.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. And so for the fuck, marry, kill, I have another thing that I wanted to try. I was thinking of an intro.
Oh, okay.
And so this is our intro. Are you ready?
Yes.
Welcome, folks, to our fuck, marry, kill segment where you have one in the gun, one in the bum, and one who's the one. Is that anything? Do you like it?
It's pretty blue, but I don't hate it.
All right. So today's Fuck, Marry, Kill, we're talking about names, okay? Our theme is names. Some real good, sweet and salty names for you.
Oh, God. Okay, yeah.
So the first name is obviously P. Parker Esquire.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. Followed by Norman G. Fester.
Yes.
Okay. And the third one is the Cozy Campus Coffee.
Okay, we killed the Cozy Campus Coffee straight away. No vamping on that one.
No vamping. Kill Cozy Campus Coffee.
You want to let me do a little bit about the.
No, do it. I'm ready for your bit.
Sorry, I'm empty. My tank's empty on that one.
I had nothing.
Okay, yeah. Now, Norman, what is it?
Norman G.
Fester.
Fester. Norman G. Fester.
Norman G. Fester and P. Parker Esquire.
Yeah.
Now, here's the interesting thing. These are both not good, and we had to kill the KKK. So now we're kind of left with two suboptimal choices, which is fine.
I agree, yeah. Okay, that does make it more interesting.
I think I would fuck Norman G. Fester, because that's... I know, get it out of the way, right? One and done. You don't have to live with him.
Well...
Okay.
Hang on.
Okay.
You have to be named the thing for the rest of your life, right?
So we're taking the name of whoever we marry.
Yeah, you have to take the name of. Well, hang on. Whoa. Okay, turn it around on me, Andy. I didn't even think that by marrying someone you change the name sometimes.
Oh,
right?
okay. Oh, interesting. So this could be Norman G. Is it Norman or Norton? I don't know.
Norman.
It could be Norman G. Davison.
Takes your name.
Would P. Parker keep the Esquire if he took my name?
I think so. I'm pretty sure he still gets to keep his law degree.
P. Davison Esquire is a good fucking name.
I have to tell you something that's really embarrassing. I've never looked it up and I've never asked anyone, and I've always just sort of faked it. What the fuck does Esquire mean?
I don't know.
It's a lawyer.
You're a knight squire, right? It's what you get when you're a knight squire.
You are a squire.
I think it's from that terminology, but an esquire is a lawyer.
Interesting.
It has a North American meaning and a historical meaning. The historical meaning is in training for knighthood.
Wow. Okay, well, thank you for filling in a sort of an empty hole in my brain. I think.
Why don't you fill our holes with your answer?
I think that I have to fuck P. Parker.
Okay.
Interesting. And he marries Fester.
He marries Fester.
He marries the meteor guy who's always going off to sniff meteor farts.
Meteor farts. They call it meteor farts Fester.
Well, okay, but it's kind of like, we've talked about how you want to marry down. I don't want to marry somebody who's an esquire and then feel like fucking insignificant my whole rest of my life. Like, I'm not an esquire.
Especially not Spider-Man.
So I guess what I'm saying is that I have a very small ego, very fragile
Remember how
ego.
we're all big fans of Mary Down? Remember how it's...
In the fiction of the podcast.
In the fiction of the podcast, we're all fans of marrying down.
I'd make Norman take my last name because I'm not going to.
You didn't make him take my middle name.
I won't take your name. You won't take my name, but you will take my fucking middle name.
You don't want to be Fester Davison?
That's two last names, Shane. What are you doing?
Fester Davison.
Okay. Look, this has gotten incredibly out of hand. Which one do you choose, Shane?
Oh, so my last name is Smith, right?
Yeah.
So it becomes P. Smith or Norman G. Smith. And I think Norman G. Smith sounds fucking awesome.
Sure.
Norman G. Smith.
All right. So I marry the Norman G. also.
All right.
I have an extra credit fuck, marry, kill for you guys.
Oh shit.
I'm ready. Dun dun dun.
Okay. So your choices are the little green alien tentacle robot.
Oh no! Oh no!
You thought I was going for that, didn't you? You thought I would.
Okay, J. Jonah Jameson, the spider-hugging robot, tentacle robot.
With also tentacle robot, yes.
Or straight up Doc Ock, dude.
Oh,
so many tentacles.
Damn.
Oh, no.
You're getting hugged.
Fuck. Okay, I will... Oh, God. How do you... Fuck.
How do you choose between three perfect choices?
Well, okay, it's like I'm more thinking about like which do I want to spend the rest of my life with? One shitty guy's face, one shitty guy's whole shitty body, or one that doesn't talk.
Oh, I think I know.
Yeah.
Okay, you tell me.
Oh, the shitty body.
Oh, you marry Doc Ock.
Yeah,
I kill him. I'm so excited to kill him. One shot through the dome. Just done.
All right, you kill Doc Ock. Rory marries Doc Ock. I think I have to kill Doc Ock as well, but I will marry J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh no, I killed the J. Jonah Jameson. I can't do it. I can't do that robot.
I think I killed that robot too. I killed the chubby penguin robot. And then you marry that other one. You know what I'm saying?
You marry the fun little alien boy.
Oh my God. For fuck's sake.
I'm dead.
Well, this has been another wonderful issue of the Infinite Backlog, issue 10 of the Infinite Backlog, and in the ever increasing awkwardness of a search for a sign off, I'll do a word in the words of Stan Lee. Wherever you go, whatever you do, whatever befalls, this we say to you: you must not miss the next issue of the Infinite Backlog.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.